Welcome to the Love Warrington Show, episode 4. We're here in Warrington Town Centre again to explore a part of the town we haven't been down yet. Behind me you'll see Horsemarket Street, lots of great history down Horsemarket Street. So we're going to go down Horsemarket Street and right down to the bus station and meet someone down at the bus station who's going to tell us all about that. And once again, I'm with Gary from Belvoir Lettings.
Hey Gary, how you doing?
Gary.
You okay? You okay?
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you.
Not brilliant weather today.
Oh, it's fine. No problem.
Bit blustery. Of course, we're here with the famous Skittles or Guardians right behind me.
We are.
And we're going to go down Horsemarket Street. Bit of work being done down there, lots of changes over the years.
This is an exciting street, this. It's actually really interesting, this street, Gary. And we manage a couple of properties down here, apartments. One of my friends, he manages a couple of apartments there. And we talk about regeneration in the town. I can't tell you exactly where, but I was with a landlord the other day that's going to be developing 10 apartments down here on the town centre. Literally saw it as a shell the other day, and I am so excited. So when it's ready, and the landlord wants to do this and show what we're trying to achieve in the town here, she's going to let us do it, and we'll show you. We'll get an inside view on it, but I can't show you yet, but it's to come soon, okay?
Right, so that's some excitement to look
really
forward to.
Really excited, yes.
Now, over the years, there's been lots of changes in Horsemarket Street. And some of the residential developments we've been talking about have already started. People are starting to live above properties in Horsemarket Street.
I think it's exciting, really exciting. When I was up in this area, shall we say, I'm going to be careful what I say here, Gary, because a lot of the windows have been put here are obviously insulated and double glazed. I was surprised actually how really nice it was to not have the noise of the town, but also be able to look on the town and what's going on. It was quite interesting to sort of be in your own, almost pretend to be in your own little home, but look down on the town and the environment, see what was going on, see the community and what was happening. I was quite excited about it.
Yeah. Now over the years there's been some new street furniture put here in Horsemarket Street, and we've got a little fountain there in the middle, which, it does add to the sort of ambience and the atmosphere of the town.
It does.
And history-wise, we've got the Bluebell pub there, one of the old pubs of Warrington. Of course, behind that, we've got the Barley Mow, which is actually inside Golden Square.
And I think this is a new little shop that's just opened as well, hasn't it?
Pinky Peach Boutique.
Yeah, and it's great to see little private businesses and ventures opening like this. I'm really pleased to see this.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if people have been to Cafe Caruso over here.
Well, I was just going to tell you a little bit of the history of that.
Ah, right.
But we'll go outside Cafe Caruso away from the fountain because it's a little bit noisy.
Sounds like we're in the toilet.
Yeah. You've got the Contact Warrington there, run by Warrington Borough Council. They must have heard us, they've turned the fountain down. Now, Cafe Caruso, for older people, this used to be the Waysiders, one of Warrington's famous family businesses.
I never knew this.
Yeah,
again.
Run by the Hales family. There's still members of the Hales family alive and kicking in Warrington. Martin Hales was a relatively good friend of mine, used to play tennis with him.
Oh, right.
So this Waysiders sort of came to fame in Warrington when the Americans were here at Burton Wood.
Yeah.
And they used to come out, get all the gifts and china and Wedgwood and all that sort of thing to send back to America. But like we've already discussed, the high street's changing. It's been transformed into an Italian restaurant now. Cafe Caruso used to be a small restaurant near the old Warrington Market.
Well, look at it now, Gary.
And look at it now.
10 to 3 nearly. It's Friday afternoon and there's loads of customers still in there. I think it's wonderful to see that. Yeah. It's nice to see local people supporting local businesses. It's really great to see.
And of course, talking about the high street, we have got the smaller businesses down this end of town.
We have.
We've got a little boutique there, a beauty place.
Oh, Gary, can I point this out to you? This is the old Lloyd's building here, if you remember, a long time ago. And Emerald Bay Developments, which is part of James Peacock or vice versa, they're going to be doing, I think it's called the Town Hill development. Just got planning permission for it. Quite an interesting design. I think it's about 30 odd apartments. Really exciting development, that. And those guys as well have done a super development, which we'll talk about a little bit further down when we get down here.
Yeah.
And that company are really doing a lot to try and do a lot of regeneration for the town. Really pleased with what they're doing as an organisation. It's exciting.
It brings a lot of childhood memories back for me down this end of town, because just that building there, which was lastly a bank, used to be a massive toy shop.
Did it?
Yeah, and every Christmas I used to go in there with my parents and sort of have a look at all the things that were on my wish list, and I got some of them occasionally, but And again, more in my family history now. We've just celebrated 50 years of Orbit News, who produce Warrington Worldwide.
Congratulations.
Well, Hatter's Row here, which sadly has become not quite what it was made to be.
Yes.
I don't want to be too unpolite about it, but there are businesses still in here sort of trying to keep it going, but there has been plenty reported about it being a drain on council resources. We'll leave it like that.
It's a shame.
But again, there's little businesses in here which really need the public to come out and support. My mother used to run a shop here right next door to the Hot Pole called the Arts Centre, and it's where Orbit News first set up business 50 years ago, upstairs in the Arts Centre next door to the Hot Pole. So, quite a bit of an emotional attachment to this part of town.
It is, isn't it? It looks like we're going to get run over by a Warrington Council van. We better move out of the way, Gary.
We'll get to the Hot Pole.
Yeah.
Because again, this is
I said this must have loads of heritage.
Loads of heritage and history. And the Prince of Wales pub across the road there.
That's a real shame to see that boarded up at the moment. Real shame.
Yeah. And next door to that, of course, we've got Parr's Bank, the old Parr's Bank.
Oh, I'd love to get in there sometime, Gary. Go and have a look around it.
Well, we have actually been in there previously. Yes. I'm filmed inside there. And it is still up for sale.
I can't believe that. Look at the history and the heritage of that building. Look at the architecture of it. It's fantastic. It really is.
So this is an important part of town because we've got the railway station here, we've got Central Station just down the road there, and we've got the bus terminal.
We have.
And,
what a building.
with
great.
all the congestion we have on the roads in Warrington, there's a taxi bay here as well. People do need to use more public transport.
Yes.
But obviously we need a good bus service.
We do.
So, just by chance, we've got Ben Wakerley here.
Ah, here's Ben.
Managing Director of Warrington's Own Buses.
Nice to see you, Ben.
Hello, Jess.
Okay?
Fancy meeting you here.
Fancy meeting you here, yes. You'd almost think it had been pre-arranged. But we've just been doing a bit of history down Horsemarket Street, Ben, and how the town's changing over the years. This is a fantastic new facility, and we've just been saying how the problem with the buses, people, as you know yourself, it's you can't win, can you?
I think the bus companies had a period where they've had to make perhaps some unpopular decisions in the past, but what that's done is shored the company up and made it much better now for the future. And where we are with the business now is actually we're starting to do more fare reductions, more frequent services, more evening services at the moment. So we're starting now to reinvest and get those things in place that people want. So
how has it been for the bus company over the last 2 years? Have you been here 2 years now?
2 years in May.
In May.
Yeah. It's difficult for all bus companies because traffic congestion's a problem. We know it's a problem in Warrington, and we need car restraint. Really, we're not saying that no one should ever use a car, but it's important that we, try to use the bus, try to use public transport when we can, and we're doing our bit with investment, reducing fares, new buses, that kind of thing. But it's really important that we, think about how we use our cars, because otherwise we're just going to keep having congestion, and it affects the air quality as well.
Yeah, well, we've worked closely together over the past couple of years, and it always seems to be no matter how hard you try to improve things, people still complain. So how do you cope with that?
Oh, I think we've got to be positive, haven't we? We've got to be positive, and ultimately there's a massive part of me that agrees with what people are saying. There's a lot of truth in what people are saying, and what we're trying to do is put in place the things that people are asking for. The customer is always right. We've just got to get there, and because I'm the managing director, we have to do it responsibly. And so, for example, people say they want lower bus fares. We've started to do that in different parts of the town. We've got some of the cheapest bus tickets in the country. But you've got to do it carefully, you've got to do it slowly and make sure it's right, because ultimately we've got a lot of employees and we have to make sure we carry out our responsibilities to them.
Yeah. Well, do you want to give us a quick tour inside the bus terminal? I mean, it's already popped up on the screen, one of our viewers saying the bus prices are too expensive. And yet you've done the price freezes, you've reduced fares. Why is there this, in your opinion, a misconception from the public that bus prices are too expensive?
Well, I think we have been reducing the fares. Obviously, like everything, inflation means that prices go up over time. But we've frozen our main bus fares for 4 years, so we are competitive, especially at a time where this month the railways have increased their fares, and most of the other bus companies in this area have also increased their fares where we've held ours flat. But we have got some good value tickets, great value tickets actually, and we don't do enough to tell people that. For example, our Breezer weekly ticket is 12 quid for a week's travel.
It's great value, that is great value.
You don't see another bus company with that price of ticket anywhere near.
Really good value.
A lot cheaper than running a car.
Yeah. I think maybe doing things like this, telling people then about that value, social media, reaching out to people, tell people the value of what you're doing there is the key. Because like the comments are coming up, everyone's got great comments about the comments here. But we've got to communicate and tell people. It's a bit like the car park. We were saying that a lot of people don't know about the new car park, and it's free for 3 hours. Walk into the market, validate it. You don't even spend anything. You got free for 3 hours. But even then, it's only £3 a day.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't understand facts. That's what we're trying to do here. Is let the public, the Warrington community, understand. Actually, there's a great value there.
Yeah, and I think obviously I'm bound to say that, you know, for me, I don't think car parking should be free. I think we need to have restraint on parking prices, but everything's got to be a balance because we want to attract people into Warrington. That's really important, however they do it.
Yeah.
But I want to nudge people in the direction of getting the bus because, you know, I believe that the success of any town depends on having different transport options, and most people would agree, I think, that the congestion is too much.
So I've got a question for you, and this is a bit of a curveball because I drive in, but when I can, I actually cycle in, and I love cycling in. And so excuse my naivety here, but what's Warrington Bus Company trying to do about going green?
Yep.
So electric buses or hybrid buses. If you've got them already, I'm sorry if I don't know, but I think it's important to say what you've got or what you're planning to do for the environment.
The first thing to say is that buses take cars off the road, and if we're going to reduce congestion, if we're going to improve air quality, we have to do that. Even, you know, a diesel bus is taking cars off the road, which is improving the air quality and reducing congestion. So that's very important.
Yes.
But in terms of our propulsion, we use hybrids. We've got 6 hybrid buses that are hybrid electric. And I've placed a bid jointly with Warrington Borough Council for something called the Clean Bus Fund.
Okay.
And so what that will do is bring electric buses into Warrington if we bid for it successfully. But in any case, you've got to reduce the total number of cars if you want to improve air quality and congestion. Because even an electric car has particulates from the tyres and the brakes.
Heard about this.
So even electric cars don't solve air quality.
Yeah. Just cycling's work.
Cycling's great.
Yeah.
And a recent study by the National Institute for Clinical Excellence, NICE, said that, you know, road schemes, road developments should prioritise cyclists, pedestrians and public transport.
It's great to hear. I'm glad I'm doing my little bit for it. I'm really pleased.
I'm just glad I remembered what NICE stood for.
And another point being raised by one of our viewers here is the saying that they live less from a mile from the town centre, or about a mile from the town centre, but it costs them over £2 to catch the bus into town, and if there's 2 of them it's over £4, so they just jump in a taxi.
Yes, well what we've done on that is, first of all, on the POPs route, we've introduced group tickets that are competitive to taxi prices. So there's a duo, trio and quattro ticket, 2, 3 or 4 people, that give you a return trip that's better value. That's the first thing we've done. But I'm not going to reveal it now, but I am working on something with my team to look at the short hop fare. It starts at £160 for us, and we'd like to do something on that, i.e. we'd like to reduce it. But again, going back to being responsible, running the company responsibly, we need to do it carefully, considered and quickly, and that's something we've got coming this year.
Okay, right, you've got your opportunity now to show everyone, the people of Warrington and further afield who might be travelling into Warrington, what a great bus service you run here from the bus terminal. And there seem to be plenty of buses here in the bay.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to say on this is that, you know, we are a significant contributor to the economy in Warrington. We employ a lot of people. We're one of the biggest private employers, and our team 99% of our team live in Warrington.
It's great.
And we've done that for 100 years. That's a lot of rent bills we've paid, a lot of mortgages we've paid, a lot of food put on people's tables. And it's not just who we employ, we connect people with places, people with work. And also, we buy our services locally, so we have a lot of people who have their own private businesses, and we buy from them. So we contribute to the economy that way. And the final thing I would say is that every penny of profit that we make goes back into Warrington, which isn't what you get with other bus companies. And it's due to the way that Warrington Borough Transport works. It's a municipal bus company, which is unusual. And all our profits go back into either services that are less economical to run or through profit to the council.
It's quite unusual these days for a council still to be involved in running a bus service, isn't it?
Yes, there's only 9 bus companies that are still municipal. So Warrington is a rare thing in that respect, and it's something to look after. I'm from Bolton. Bolton don't have that, you know.
Right. Well, while we're making that customer announcement, let's have a look at the. There seem to be plenty of people about for a Friday afternoon. The bus services look quite busy.
Yeah, I mean, Friday afternoon is the busiest time for us. One of the busiest shopping days, work days. You can see it if those people who do use the bus. You can see sometimes traffic can be a bit busier on a Friday and that kind of thing, which is why we try to avoid, or we like to avoid, swing bridge turns at the wrong time and things like that.
How many buses have you got running?
We have 100 buses in our fleet.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And you know, here's an example of one of our new buses. This is
I've been wondering about these. So that feels quite integrated further afield than just Warrington.
Yes, it is.
Because it's got lots of different communities on the side of it, I noticed.
Yeah, we go to Northwich, Altrincham, places like that, a bit further afield. And these buses are really high tech. They've got very high specification. You can charge your phone. You can.
The bus has just disappeared. By the way,
here though.
Here you go.
Oh, there's another one.
They're very frequent.
Do you want to take us and show us the bus while we're here?
We'll do a quick.
That'd be great.
But we haven't got the high vis on, so we'll have to do it from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's a bit dirty on the road today, so not always the best time to see it. But
We see free Wi-Fi, USB power, up to every 10 minutes.
yes,
Warrington, Priest College stops. It's fantastic. And so we've got Warrington, Lymm, Altrincham, Appleton, Northwich.
Yeah.
So it's really connecting all the communities around Warrington, just helping people in the community outside come into Warrington,
Absolutely.
work, shop, eat, drink, the whole lot.
And this is a very environmentally friendly bus. It's Euro 6 engine in it, so it's the most clean diesel engine you can get at the moment.
So diesel is not defunct yet.
No, and diesel gets a bad press. It can't be the future forever, but diesel is very clean now. But obviously, some of the stuff that was in the press a year or two ago,
It's not helped, has it?
It's not helped. So
Yeah.
you can understand.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's like anything else. The more people who use the bus service, the more you can make improvements, put more services on, run more frequent services. Because I know one of the bugbears for some people is they can't, if they live in an outlying area, they can't get into town at night.
Yeah, well, we actually have, I think, a reasonably good evening network. We have a bus every hour on the key routes, which we have to match the demand to our service levels. But I can't wait for the cinema to open. I can't wait for all those restaurants.
It'd be great.
No.
And the bowling alley.
alley's
The bowling
gonna be
alley
right
up here
here.
as well.
And that's one thing we're looking at is how do we publicise that, because we like the idea that if the family's gone bowling for the night and perhaps the parents want to have a drink, they don't want to drive, do they? And that's got to be an opportunity for us.
Well, I'm sure Warrington Worldwide will help you publicise it, Ben.
It's very good value as well, Gary.
What time do they go up till then, roughly, Ben?
Our last buses go off here at 11 o'clock at night.
Pretty good going. And what time do your buses start in the morning?
About 5 o'clock.
Wow,
in the
that's
morning,
early.
yeah.
That is really early.
The guys work shifts. They work almost every day of the year. Christmas Day and Boxing Days and New Year's Day are the only days we don't operate.
That's more than most of the rail companies, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure actually.
We haven't got the engineering works the rail companies have you?
Well, I always think it's important to say that bus punctuality is very good and often compares very well to railways, given that railways have their own road.
Yeah.
So,
Great point, that.
Right, well, Ben, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Ben.
Just before we finish now, this is your last chance today to put out a message to the people of Warrington why they should use the buses more.
Yeah, I think we've got to protect bus companies nationwide. You know, it's hard to compete against the cars. People want free parking and that kind of things, or car finance, and so it's a hard sell from our point of view. But you know, it's easy to talk about buses. We're actually talking about people, and often it's the poorer people who sometimes use buses, and it's about giving them the best possible service. And also, I can't think of an example of a modern town or city that doesn't have a great public transport network. We've got to have public transport if we want Warrington to be the success that it should be.
Okay, well,
That's a
once
great
again,
point.
thanks for your time, Ben, and we look forward to continuing to work with you in the future, promoting the town's bus service and letting people know about this facility that they've got, which they can use, which we all need people to start using more to take the traffic off the roads.
Thank you,
Ben.
Ben.
Yeah, cheers,
Thanks for
thank
joining
you.
us for the Love Warrington show.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.